Hello everyone, how's everybody doing today? I pray all is well with you and your families. And welcome to my channel. And thank you so much to my new subscribers. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, welcome. Well, my name is Nancy, and I will be posting at least 2 to 3 videos a week, maybe more, who knows, I don't know yet, but at least 2 to 3 videos. My channel is going to be mostly about my story, and then I will be putting fun videos here and there, cleaning videos, maybe you'll get cooking videos, workout videos, things that I love to do. I just want to show people like me, who probably are like me out there, that despite going through, life has to go on. You still have to go on with whatever is going on with the life, instead of having a pity party, poor me party. You just have to do what you have to do, guys, and God will be your strength at all times. That's why I'm just doing this. Well, I also have to say thank you to all the people who have sent me messages, who have called me, reaching out to me with your prayers, with your encouragement, and even the ones who were criticizing, and you were wanting me to shut down my channel. I know you were coming from a good place, from a good heart, because you know me, you care for me and all that. And I just want to say thank you, thank you so much. But I have to say this, guys. This channel, it's not about me. It's not about people. I really want you to understand that I really don't care what people will say or think at this point. I'm just doing what I'm called to do. It wasn't easy for me to say yes to God. Unfortunately, my yes was pushed because of what my daughter did. That pushed me to say yes to my calling. So really, I'm not doing it for people. I really don't care what people think at this point of my life, guys. And really, I am here, and I'm going to say yes to God till when he tells me, Nancy, this is enough. You are done with what you are supposed to do here. So that's why I'm gonna be doing this, guys. So I just wanted to say that out there. My channel is for that little girl, that little child who has been raped, okay? That fifth grader, grade 5, we say grade 5 in my country, that fifth grader who was raped or abused, molested, whatever you want to call it, and was told it's a secret. Fukidza hapka, chaka fukidza dzimba matenga, or whatever it is you call it. That's for that. My channel is for those people. I am here to tell those people like me that there is light at the end of the tunnel. You can be healed if you want to. You can come out of pain if you want to, because God, if you say yes, God help me, he will help you. I am here to tell my story that yes, you can be free. You can be free. So I'm not gonna be here to sugarcoat nothing. I am going to tell it as it is, guys. The same people who would say, oh, fukidza hapwa, sumudzi hapwa. Let me translate it in English. Or you don't show your armpits to the whole world. If those armpits, when I was being abused when I was in 5th grade, if those armpits were shown, I wouldn't be here. So, well, my armpits, God has told me, well, I cannot have my armpits down no more. I have to lift up my armpits. So hey, if the world has to see my armpits so that that person, that child, that mom, that wife that is in pain, don't know what to do, if it's going to free that mom, that wife, that child, and to tell them that there is light at the end of the tunnel, then it's worth it. Okay, it's worth it. So zvekufukidza hapwa izvi, whatever it is you call it, ini dzangu hadzisi kuzofukidzwa, dzatofumuka. Matenga ngari pamusoro peimba yangu abva, hapasina zvekuita. You see, let me translate it, guys. I'm saying that thing of, oh, don't let the world see under your armpits. Well, my armpits, God said, now the world is going to see your armpits, Nancy, and that it is what it is. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so I had to make it clear, guys, that it's not, no matter what you say or come to me and tell me, this channel is not going anywhere until God says so. Now let's get into the topic. Oh, before we get into the topic, let you pray for me. And if you see my story, this must also encourage you. If you are somebody who's not going through it or never went through anything as a child, don't sit on the sidelines doing nothing. Pray for people like me or people that are in pain. And also it has to encourage you to even give God the glory and praise. You know, if it was me watching me, I would be like, oh, thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you, Lord Jesus. I'm not that woman and her family. It will just push me to even want to pray more, to want to praise God more, to want to glorify God more. So let it be let my story push you to want to do more for God, knowing that, hey, at least you are not that woman, you see. So let's just keep on praying for each other. People are in pain. I went through hell, guys. I went through hell, and that's why I'm pushing this, so that child, that before they say I do to be married or to have kids, if they can get help before doing that, wonderful. They'll be able to raise a healthy child, healthy children, have a healthy marriage with no pain. At least they will deal with something else rather than dealing with something that is caused by your pain. You get it? I hope so. So let's get into the topic of today, guys. Stop running. How does running look like? For me, I started running from the day that I was abused. There I was, a very confident girl. I was full of life. Even my parents were like, wow, you are so confident. And very smart in school, guys. And there I was in that house in Masasa as a 5th grader in this horror movie. I'm not going to get into details because I don't want to traumatize you. Just know it was traumatic. And whatever happened in that room, it was just trauma. It was trauma beyond trauma. I don't know how to explain it without going into detail, so I have to just tell you that just know it was trauma. It was just traumatic. So what happened, and the people who have gone through this, who are going to be listening to me, who have gone through rape, abuse, molestation, or whatever it is, they know exactly what I'm talking about. The day you get abused or the day you are traumatized is the day you basically kind of die. I don't know if it's death that takes place, or no, let me not say death, that's too that's too deep. Let me say it's the day you go into a deep sleep. So I took that little girl, I built a house for that little girl, I put her in there, and then in that moment I formed another Nancy, and I told that new Nancy that I built for myself to run and never allow yourself to get hurt again. But the original Nancy that was created by God, I made sure I leave her somewhere safe, where I built this house with cement. The house was built with cement, with no windows and no doors, no way out. It was just a house that was supposed to protect me. And the Nancy that I built, the copy of Nancy that I made up, was supposed to just go and come and update me of life if I needed to be updated. Okay. So that's when I started running. That time when I was in grade 5 or 5th grade, you may call it. That's when I started running, guys. So I drew a picture so you can have an idea exactly how it looks like, the house I built for myself, and then I will start telling you how running looks like. Okay, so you see this is me right here. Okay, all these lines that are going around me are these are all houses built with cement. Okay, this is an opening that I made sure the Nancy that I had sent out in the world will come and report to me. But no one can come here, because if you come here, if you see this blue thing, these are teeth made of iron and razor, so that if anyone comes to try and disturb me while I'm sleeping here, I'm going to eat you. So that's why I created it like this. Okay, at that time, of course, it's not like you see it like this. I'm able to see it like this because I came out of it. That's why I'm able to explain it like this, because I came out of it. So all these houses that I kept on building around me were now suffocating me. That's why the space where I am now becomes smaller. It became smaller and smaller, and I couldn't breathe no more. So these items, like rage, fear, anger, hate, loneliness, bitterness, rejection, insecurities, blame, bondage, the gate was made out of shame, and you know what else, guilt, unforgiveness, all that were all the walls that I was building around me as a child. You see, so I wanted you to get a clear picture. You not only do you build these walls, you are going to produce something over here. That Nancy that you have formed, the new you that you have formed, the new me that I had formed, produced these things now, because you are going to give birth to something else. So then the copy Nancy now will be carrying pride, lies, control, insecurities, judgmental issues, defensive, performance, perfectionism, competitiveness, addictions, assumptions, people pleasing, spirit, sickness, anxieties, trust issues, poor communicating, instability. You are lost, you are stuck, and all that. I can go on, guys. I can go on. But I don't want this video to be long, because it's about why am I running. These things, I will be making videos of each, what bitterness does, what anger does, what, you know, all that will be like small videos as we go along. So, running, for me, I'll give you the picture of how running looked like when I was a child. So when I was a child, from that 5th grader now, how I ran is like, I was always fidgety. Like I couldn't sit still. Like even when I'm when we are watching TV or there are people we are sitting, all kids are sitting around, I was always fidgety. Like I couldn't sit still. And even my parents would be like, sit down. Like you act like you have ants, because I never could sit down. I was just like fidgety. If I was in this country, they could have diagnosed me like I have what's that disease they diagnose? It's not disease. What that they put it on kids. I forgot what it is. It's something with a DD something. I forgot. They could have put that on me, because that's how I was just like always, I couldn't settle down. Even if when we were watching TV, I'll be just going in and out. Oh, I'm going to the restroom. I'm going. I'm up. I'm going. I'm just going. I just want to run my mouth. Talk. Because now now that I'm looking back to that little girl, it's because I felt dirty. I felt like if I keep sitting down, somebody's gonna find out, and my parents are going to be in trouble. And then my dad at that time, he was a police officer. I thought he would kill the cousin. I was abused by my cousin, and he was a grown man, guys. He was a grown man. He wasn't even a boy. He was a grown man. Just imagine. And the thing also with that, when you're abused, it's the day when it happens, that picture will never leave you for the rest of your life. I hope it does someday. If it does, and I manage to, if I manage to take that picture out, I'll tell you. But for now, I won't remember anything else from that time. But that day, I can remember what he was wearing, how he smelled like, and he drank a lot. So I can smell the beer. I can smell how he smelled like. I can see exactly what he was wearing. I can see the color of my underwear that I was wearing. I see how the room was, how it looked like, where I was facing. I can see his hands, big hands over my mouth. Everything. You will remember all those things in details. You will never forget that picture. So anyway, moving on. So running as a child, I would fidget a lot. My parents would think, oh, why you can't settle down? You're just too active. And the other thing that I would do as a child is when I was bathing, the houses there back then, where we lived, I mean, the toilet and the bathroom will be around the corner. You have to go around the corner. It will be around the house. So it had, where you put the key to lock the bathroom, there's a little hole. So when I locked the bathroom, I would put my own clothes to cover that hole, and any spaces on the door, I would put clothes. I'll put clothes like in the spaces like that, because I always thought, how about if he come and sees that I'm bathing? How about if somebody is looking? Or under the door, I would put clothes that I'm wearing to put cover. That's how bad it was. Back then, I just felt dirty, really dirty, and I just felt like I have to clean something. Even my mom would say, oh, wow, you are such a clean person. You took after me, because my mom was a very clean person. She loved order and cleaning, in a normal way. But now my cleaning was not normal, and she didn't know that. So I would clean after people. Even after we clean our rooms, I'll clean again and again. Maybe the same room, I'll clean our room maybe 5 times. If I see things on the floor, I'll pick it up and just be cleaning. Yeah. And then the other thing that I displayed is I would when we are playing Mahumbwe, like those children games, with other kids, I always wanted to be the dad. No one could be the dad. Even if there's a boy in our game, I'll tell the boy, you be the mother. I'm going to be the dad. I never wanted to play mother. I wanted to play the dad. Things like that. And fighting with boys. I love to fight with boys. So many times my dad will be people come and complain, oh, your child was fighting with my son, what, and I would be hurt, the one hurt, and the one who had started the fight. They just didn't understand why I love to fight. And for me now, looking back, I just wanted them to pay attention, to go deeper. Like, this is not our daughter we used to know, something is wrong. But because nobody went deeper to ask those questions, even the people who knew did not say anything, then it became a problem to me. So I kept on just the misbehaving just kept on going and going, because, you know, I was just screaming inside and nobody was hearing me. So that's how I ran as a child. So now as a teenager, how I ran as a teenager. Lucky enough, my parents had finished building the house at the new area where we moved eventually. So when I was in grade 6, that's when we moved from Masasa to that area where my parents had built a bigger house, a much bigger house. And the guy who we were living with at the time had already moved on. He had his own place. He was renting his own place, so that was a good thing. The change of environment helped me a lot. It kind of made me relax a little bit. I relaxed as a child. Then let me say I went deeper into sleep, so I relaxed more. And because I was now in a new environment, I was now approaching my teen years, and it helped a lot. But it brought something else. I laid dormant for a little while, and then the first boyfriend I dated in grade 7, was in a car accident and died. And everybody knew about it. Everybody who saw me in that area would come to me, oh, Nancy, did you know your whatever died? And mind you, it's just a puppy love, but it was the first puppy love that I had, and it really triggered something again. So at that moment, I felt like my life is going to be about pain. So that alone, you see, this fidgety thing, it follows me everywhere. I can never settle down. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. Either the car is not comfortable or I'm hot. I think it's because I'm hot. Anyway, guys, yeah. So when he passed away, when he died, I didn't know anything about death. It triggered something, and then I built another wall, because I just thought my life is gonna be about pain. So I started dating senselessly. That's when I went into, because he passed on when I was in grade 7, and then when I went to high school, that's when I went to boarding school. And when I went to the boarding school, I started dating senselessly. My goodness. I would date boys for pity. Like, let's say if a boy, people are laughing at the boy, or they just make fun of the boy, I would date the boy for that. And then I would date them like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, and that's it. And then I'll tell the boy, well, let's move on now. Just childish stuff, you know, things like that. But that's how I was running, guys. I never wanted any attachments. So even having friends with girls, I never wanted them to draw as closer to me, because I thought if they get closer, they will see what I'm hiding. So it was always, we are friends, we are not, let's get along, you know, things like that. It's very few friends who were close to me, and the very few friends that were close to me ended up knowing what happened to me. my grades just went down. My grades just went down. I was just now I had anger issues by then in teenage years. I was jumping jura hole. You know how in our country we have jura holes around the house because they would have logged, you know, the maid or the cousins would, you know, want us to get out of, because we would know our parents are at church. We want to get out to go see our boyfriends. They don't want to open the gate. I would jump the jura hole, guys, just like that, just because I was just going crazy. Yeah, just like screaming and running. Who can hear me? I think that was the case. Yeah, and then I finished my high school, my O levels, and then at 17, that's when I was in college now. Of course, I failed my O levels, rewrote the O levels, passed okay, and then I went to college in Vumba, Mutare. And then another can of worms was opened, because now I'm at college at 17 years old. You are told, and it was a boarding college. I don't know if anyone knows it, Eagle Girls College. Oh my goodness, that was a beautiful, most beautiful place ever. Got to that college and you are told, oh, you're an adult. Hey, here the rules are this, but you're an adult. We cannot tie you to anything. Here you're an adult. All you need to do is pass and all that. So I went there to do my top flight secretarial, when they had those executive top flight secretarial. That's what I went to do over there. And then I met my husband. It didn't take me long to meet my husband, but before I met him, I only wanted to date guys that were 10 years older. I would actually ask the guys, how old are you? If they told me, oh, 20, 21, 22, 23, I'm like, no, nothing. Even if I like the guy, I was like, it won't work. It won't work. At least maybe 7 years, 10 years and up. That's the guys I liked. I don't know why. Even the friends I started wanting to play with since high school had to be older. It just had to be older people. I don't know why. I just thought maybe they have more sense, I guess. They would, I don't know. I really don't know, guys. And then, yeah, I got married at 17. That's how I was running, guys. And then I thought maybe the running will stop. No. That's when the sprinting started, actually. I started sprinting. I started, the fidgety thing came back. My hands, because of anger, when anger is not checked, it just keeps on going. My hands started shaking, guys. I had this thing where people be like, why are you nervous? I was not nervous. I just started shaking, and it wasn't shaking because of the whatever. It was just anger inside. Now looking back at it, until when I dealt with that anger, it just stopped. But before then, I was always shaking. Even the people who know me, they'll be like, why are you shaking? Even touching a paper, I'll be just shaking it, because the anger was just growing and growing. Whatever was inside me was growing and growing. So for some reason, me getting married awakened that little girl. I'll tell you that story when we get to the marriage portion. That awakened me, and it brought, especially those first 2 years of my marriage, my goodness, wow, it was hell for my husband. And you know, I had to tell him what happened. If I didn't tell him what happened, I think he was not going to tolerate the nonsense. But I told him what happened, because he was just going, you know, little stuff were irritating me, and it was just more tension and tension. Within the 2 years of our marriage, the first 2 years, my husband sent me back to my parents' house, I think more than 20 times. The last time he sent me back, it was at 12 midnight. We went back to my parents' house. My husband told my dad and said, you know what? Here's your child. I am done with this marriage. This is not worth it. I'm done with this marriage. Whatever she needs to tell you, she needs to tell you herself, because she has she's possessed. That's actually what my husband said. She's possessed. I cannot help her. And mind you, I had told my husband never to tell my parents, because my dad had high blood pressure, and I told him, if you tell my dad, this will kill him, because he's just a good person, and my mom, they won't be able to handle this, so don't tell my parents. So that's why he told my dad, you know what, she needs to tell you what's going on with her. Maybe that will help, because I cannot handle it. And then my dad told my husband, well, we are also tired of you bringing our child back here, and you are right. So on the weekend, bring your people and I'll give you back your lobola. Oh my God, I cried. I said, wow, so you actually want to give my husband his lobola back? Oh my goodness, that changed everything. I then said, you know what, when my husband came back on the weekend, I begged him, I apologized, I said sorry, and then he said, okay, I'll give you another chance. And you know, the fights they changed, because I didn't want to be taken back to my parents' house. Yeah. So my running as a young adult, as a young wife, was anger issues. I was manipulating situations. Pride was now kicking in now. I couldn't apologize for nobody, for nothing. I couldn't say sorry. Even if I knew I was wrong, for some reason, I just could not see myself saying sorry. I just couldn't see myself saying sorry. I just thought, no, you say sorry. Even I am wrong, but you're going to say sorry. You know, things like that. I don't know why, but yeah, things like that. And I had trust issues. That's when trust issues started and all that. So it brought its own type of problems and issues. Then I had my child. It brought another type of issues again, you know, because, you know, remember when you're growing up, as a child, all these issues, you didn't take care of them. So you have so many walls that were dormant. They were just waiting for the right time. So now these things which you were building around you, they are starting to come out. So when I gave birth to my daughter, I started seeing that even I couldn't have anyone, even my husband could not bathe my daughter when I'm not present. My husband could not change my daughter diaper when I'm not present, or anybody, or even the maid. I also had house help. I was just so suspicious. Like, this suspicious thing came over me. Like, I couldn't let anyone be alone with my daughter. I was just so protective. Like, oh, maybe, I don't know, people might be psycho or something, you know, just have a suspicious spirit. Like, always thinking something bad is going to happen. So that was the way of me running, trying to control things, making sure I am around when my daughter is. I just wanted to be present, you know, things like that. And then when I became an adult, as a parent and as a wife, that's when we had now moved to the United States. My daughter was almost 1 year old when we moved here in the United States. Yeah. Yeah. Let me tell you, if you don't take care of your issues, your pain, it just follows you. It doesn't matter where you go. It will just follow you. And it followed me. This pain thing followed me to America. It was just sitting with me right there. I started, you know, it was the loneliness was awakened because I had nobody. I didn't know no one in the area. My relatives were in another state. I just was so alone. That's when I started knowing there's something called stress. I was stressed. Oh my goodness, it was bad. I started watching TV, binge watching TV. And back then, TV was not like nowadays where you go YouTube or whatever. It was just Lifetime. and soap. I was a soap person. I was watching Lifetime and soap, or Lifetime and soap. I couldn't work in this country because I was on a dependent visa. It made it worse. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It was just, it made it worse. It made it worse. That's when all the stuff that were lying dormant started coming out. Little by little, they started coming out. Yeah, and then I started shopping. I was now becoming a shopaholic. I would go shop for shoes, shop for anything. I became, I started speaking over people. I couldn't, when I'm having a conversation with somebody, I wouldn't let them finish when they are talking. I would finish their sentence because my brain was going so fast. So to me, they were talking so slow. I wanted to be somewhere else. I was never present in the conversation. I'm always like, somebody's talking, I'm fidgeting, or I'm going around, or I'm picking something, or that fidgety thing never left. It was just around somewhere, like I'm talking over people, or they're telling me something and then I'm bringing up something that has nothing to do with what they are talking about, things like that. It was just weird. And then I was so detached to people. I was never present, so I was detached. Like, I would never want anyone to be closer to me, so I never made real friends until later. What else? Yeah, so shopping, TV, radio, things like that were my way to run to. That's where I ran to. And extreme cleaning. Oh my goodness. I would clean walls, I would clean bathrooms, I would clean again and again. I became a perfectionist. I didn't want to see nothing on the floor, even a tiny little paper, whatever it is. I didn't want to see it on the floor. It became extreme. Everything became extreme anger, extreme perfectionist, extreme cleaning, extreme shopping, things like that. And then fast forwarding, when I was able to work, when I got my work permit, I started running job after job. Guys, my resume is bigger than this. It was huge. I have a big resume, guys. Like, what haven't I worked? Let me see. When I worked as a cleaner, I was cleaning houses. I worked as a braider, because when I couldn't work, I couldn't sit. So I didn't know how to braid in Africa. I learned how to braid here in America because I was so desperate. And I would go to braiding shops, begging them, please teach me how to braid. I would just come and do something, sweep or something. And I would watch them braid. And yeah, I would watch them braid hair. And then that's how I learned. I learned from these Senegal people, and yeah, I started working for them and learning what they do. And yeah, I learned. And then I worked as a computer builder when we moved to another state. I was building computer builder. I was building, how to make computers. I was working for this big company, Dell, when Dell computers was still in here in the industry, making computers. I was good at that. I worked in collections. I worked as a security guard. I worked as a car sales rep, clothes sales rep, Chick-fil-A, cosmetology. I worked as a, I also got a job as a police officer. I got the job. We were supposed to start our 6 weeks. Is it 6 weeks or 6 month training? I had a dream shooting somebody. The gun, instead of pointing to the bad guy, I couldn't point straight. It point in the sky, and then it ended up hitting somebody who was innocent. This is in my dream. I said, no. Called them next day. I told them, I'm very sorry, I cannot do it. The process to be a police officer is a long process. Like, is it 6 months, 4 months process? Went through that process, but chickened out at the last minute. My husband was even calling Officer Nancy, that suits you. Even my dad at that time, my dad was alive. He was like, oh, maybe you're the one who is taking after my shoes. You're going to be a police officer. They were encouraging, so encouraging, but no, last minute I said, no, I couldn't do it, guys. I couldn't do it. I worked as a child care teacher. I went back to school, worked hard to be in a nursing program. Because getting into nursing program, everyone knows that it's so hard. I did get in. Then it was time to do the clinicals. I chickened out. I knew this wasn't for me. It was just so much. I was like, no, this is not for me. And I was doing well in my classes, but those clinicals got me. When the clinicals came, I was like, this is not for me. I managed to finish the degree, since that's what I thought, because going back to school, I thought, yeah, maybe if I get a degree, maybe that will make my brain work properly. But no, I was just running, guys. I was just running, trying to find myself. Where can I fit in? What am I supposed to do? But I wasn't asking God. I was just busy running and making decisions for myself. Oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. I was everywhere. Where the wind blows, I am there. I was no respecter of jobs, guys. I was working job after job. And poor my husband, I would ask my husband, like, let's say if they have Christmas parties at their workplace, I was like, well, I will embarrass you, because they're gonna ask me, or they'll ask you, what does your wife do? And here I am, nothing. And my husband said, who cares? I don't care. We are going. Thank God for that man. He didn't care. He was like, so what? It's none of their business. You do what you need to do. So he was very supportive in all my job adventure. Yeah. And how did I stop running? How did I stop running? I got pregnant, guys. I got pregnant with my third child. We thought we were never gonna have any more kids, because when we wanted the third child, she never came. No child came. So I became pregnant, and it was, and we couldn't believe it. And I was forced to, because that pregnancy was giving me problems, so I was forced to not work. That's when I stopped running, because I had time now to look at myself and decide exactly what I wanted to do in life. That's when I went back to school. So I stopped running, but I didn't ask God, what do you want me to do? I just kept on going in circle, but I did stop running. And then, because I was not asking the right questions to God, I kept on making mistakes. That's why I ended up doing nursing, which I was not supposed to do. If I had asked God, probably I wouldn't have done nursing. But I didn't ask. I was just doing what I felt was right, what I wanted to do. So then God had to do it his own way. My dad just suddenly got sick, and that's when I really sat down, because he got sick. It happened so quick. I started fasting, because I thought if I fast, that is going to make God heal my dad. So that's when I started fasting. I never had done this fasting thing. So I thought, oh, fasting will make God do something. So I started fasting, me, my dad, me, my sister, and my mom, for my dad to get well. And then my cousin joined us, so we were 4 of us. Well, I ended up going back home. The day I got home on Thursday, I went with oil, which my pastor had prayed over. Friday, I like rubbed the oil on my dad, praying over my dad. I was in fasting, so I thought, okay, this is going to happen. Nothing happened. Saturday, nothing happened. Sunday, nothing happened. Then Monday, my mom receives a call early in the morning. My dad passed on, went to be with the Lord. Yeah, I was angry. I was angry. I was angry with God. And you'd think I would stop fasting. No, I kept on fasting, but I was fasting while I was angry. I didn't know that I was that anger was already praying. So I just kept on fasting. Eventually, my mom and my sister stopped, but my cousin kept on fasting with me. So she actually, I think she was the one who made me keep on going, because as I was fasting, I wasn't praying, but she was praying for me. So that helped me. So that made me really stop, guys. That really made me stop running. That's when I started doing the other things, journaling, hearing the word, doing that. That's when my journey really started. And that's when I started fixing my mouth. When I say fixing my mouth, like really studying myself, the words that come out of my mouth, because I just knew that if I wanted to change my life, I needed to change the way I was speaking about my past, because I knew that for me, whatever I wanted to see, it had to come out of my mouth. He who guards his mouth and tongue guards his soul. Is it Proverbs 21:23? Yeah. So I just wanted to start saying the right things on my life, and yeah, that's when change started. So this video became long. Anyway, what can you learn? Well, if you know you have been abused, molested, raped, whatever you want to call it, and you know you are running, because you know when you're running. At that moment when it's happening, you don't know that you're running. But really, if you are tired of being unstable, just going in circles, you don't know what you're supposed to do here on earth, you ask people, what am I supposed to do? Or you are trying to ask people what they know about you, because you're trying to figure your own self out, then you know you're running. Just take a moment to stop, evaluate your life, pray about it, go deeper with God, like, God, please help me. If you want to change, just go directly to God and ask God to help you. That's if you are sick and tired of going in circles of nowhere. Because what's happening when you're running is like you just keep on running in circles to nowhere, to nothing, because you're trying to find yourself. You're trying to awaken that little girl inside you. So just take a moment to just ask God, help me find me. Help me find me, Lord. Help me to see me the way you see me. Help me to open my eyes, to come out of this deep sleep that I am in. Help me to just find my purpose here on earth. Just keep on it. I was on it, guys. Years and years, I kept on praying the same prayer. Lord, what am I supposed to do? How can I heal? One minute I say I forgive this person, the other minute I'm going in circles, or this thing comes back. What's going on? What's my issue? You have to conversate like that with God. You conversate directly with God. He will show you, guys. He will show you. But the first thing for you to be able to see, to be open, is you have to stop running. This busyness, because my cover-up was this busyness. I stayed busy. because I didn't want to face my pain. So you running and staying busy and all this is just because you don't want to face your pain. And I'm talking to those people who want to face their pain. There are some who you already moved on and all that, good for you. And if you have moved on and you have other ways that you know of that you want to share, please do share in the chat and tell us how you got healed or how you moved on from the pain or whatever it is. But for those people who are still in pain and you really you want to move on, then first sit down somewhere and be honest with yourself, and then go to God and God will help you. That's it, guys, for today. If you are from any third world country, the first two people who email me, I will mail you a book, or I'll give you one book each for the books that help me in my transformation process, because I started reading books. You have to do the work, guys. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Just imagine years and years of walls, building walls. Whenever somebody hurts you, you're building another wall. So it's going to also take years and years to tear down those walls, and you're going to need God's help. You're not gonna do it by yourself. Even today, there are some stuff I'm still working on. You're not just going to do it by yourself. You need God's grace. You need His strength. You need every strength you can get to just be able to win this fight. So if you email me your address and you reside in the third world countries, I will send you some of the items I've been using, the books that have helped me. And these books, when you're somebody who's running a lot, it's going to take a lot for you to just be still. It's just gonna take a lot because your mind is always so noisy, and you're also going to need a Bible word church, because if you go to the church that makes too much noise, it won't get in, because you have already so much noise inside you. So you need a church that will really teach the Bible. That helped me too. I thank God that I was able to find a church that I am in right now, because it was just perfect for me. I'm not saying the people who do the hoping thing, there's anything wrong with that. It's great churches. I'm saying with your mind, if you know yourself at that time, if you make too much noise in yourself, then you have to know what type of word you need. So that's it, guys. Sorry the video became long. I didn't even say so many stuff because it just, the time just keeps on moving. But if you want, to those people who are going through pain, and if you want more of this, more detail in how to stop running, I can go into details. I will just ask God to help me to find ways how I can make it short, and how I can make it to the point, short and to the point. I'm learning as I go, guys. I'm learning as I go. So you stay blessed, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye. God bless you.